Okay, now we'll go into a few ways of getting in a yes or a no. The first is going to be using your body as a tool, and different people have different forms of muscle testing. You can look these up online if you want. A common one is this idea of you have a ring and then you kind of pull your fingers, and if it's a yes, it breaks one way, and if it's a no, it breaks the other. I don't use that one very much, but it is a thing that people use. Another way is people will stand and they ask their body to show them a yes, and they might sway or lean a certain way. And then they'll ask their body to show them a no, and they'll sway and lean in a slightly different way. And if they do this a few times, then they'll oftentimes have a baseline of saying, okay, now I'm going to do a fact that I know to be true. And the fact might be something like your name. Is my name whatever? And then see if you get the yes for it, and then say, is my name, and then use a name that isn't yours and see if you get a yes or a no. Now, that's not the way that I do it, but I wanted to present those. Plenty of resources online about these. They're pretty simple. But I use my body as a tool just in the felt sense of tuning in when I'm talking with someone. Do I tend to tighten up, or do I tend to feel open and free and in flow? That's the biggest clue for me. And so what I do for this is I say, okay, body, can you show me a no right now? Show me what a no feels like. And so I would encourage you to say, okay, body, show me what a no feels like. And for me, what I'm noticing in the solar plexus and the gut is where the no gets the strongest, although I also feel my shoulders coming in a little bit. And if were I to continue, and what can be helpful is I can remember times in my life where I had a decision to be made, and I felt very strong body response. So again, when I moved to Vegas or made the decision to move to Vegas, I got a strong no, this is not the right path for you. But I was so early, I wasn't on a spiritual path yet, and I didn't see another way of getting to where I wanted to go, so I chose it. And again, the universe can update for us. I'll go into the cover your ass part of this later on in the video, but it can be helpful to reflect on times you make good decisions and not good decisions. I've heard of people on the altar realizing this wasn't the right person for them, feeling it within the body, but now they have all that external pressure, and then they choose to say yes, even though their body was telling them no. So it's just helpful to recognize our body usually is communicating with us. The body will often feel weak and get weak when it doesn't want to do something. It can also do this with food. So some people might notice this with artificial sweeteners or things like that, of things that their body does not want them to have. And I actually did this for certain medical decisions that I made in terms of how did my body feel. We can go into that more later. But how did my body feel when it received it versus it didn't? And I got a strong option or decision made based off that. So anyhow, body as a tool, what's the no feel like for you? Where do you notice it in the body? I also do oftentimes notice my knees and my legs get weaker if it's a no. Now, how does it feel when it's a yes? So I notice my whole sort of torso pops out a little bit more. I notice feeling a little more strong. My legs even kind of brace a little bit in a different way where I feel more grounded. So you can ask yourself that, how do you feel right now? And again, it may not be a yes or a no decision you make. It may be, how do you feel around this person? Do you feel stronger, empowered? Do you feel really not yourself?